Once upon a time, near a small village, there was a large pond. The pond was home to many creatures like fish, crabs, and frogs. A crane also lived nearby and fed on the fish from the pond. As time passed, the crane grew old and weak and could no longer catch fish to fill its belly. The crane, hungry and desperate, thought to itself, "If this continues, I will die of starvation. I must come up with a clever plan to trick these creatures." One day the crane sat by the pond, looking sad and dejected. The fish and other creatures noticed and asked, "Why are you so sad, crane?" The crane let out a heavy sigh and said, "I have bad news for you all. The water in this pond will soon dry up. The villagers are planning to fill this pond and turn it into farmland. I am old and cannot move elsewhere. But what will you all do?" The fish and other creatures were alarmed. They pleaded, "What should we do? Please help us." Pretending to be thoughtful, the crane replied, "There is another large pond nearby, filled with water and surrounded by plenty of food. If you want, I can carry you there on my back one by one." The creatures, feeling relieved, trusted the crane and agreed to its plan. Each day the crane carried a fish on its back. But instead of taking them to a new pond, it ate them on the way. After a few days, it was the crab's turn. As the crab climbed onto the crane's back, it noticed bones scattered along the way. Realizing the crane's deceit, the crab quickly clamped its sharp claws around the crane's neck and said, "If you value your life, take me back to the pond immediately, or I will kill you." The frightened crane, unable to free itself, returned to the pond. Once back, the crab revealed the crane's treachery to the other creatures. Together they drove the crane away from the pond forever. Moral of the story is, greed leads to destruction, and those who deceive others will eventually face the consequences. Wisdom and vigilance can help overcome even the trickiest of situations.